Hello friends and neighbors and colleagues. This is the AFL Indoor War Weekly. I'm your host Chris Yao. Just want to let everybody know that Indoor War Weekly should be weekly. We're going to hope so anyway. This will be the first edition, the preview edition of the season. So take out your pens and papers, make sure you write down what I say, and then come back later and tell me how wrong I was. Alright, we're going to start first with camp. Camp has started, it's the first week before the first game now. We've had a couple of scrimmages here and there. Dallas and Bossier City played. You had Tulsa and Iowa. Last night we had Orlando and Tampa Bay. Had some great games, and really looking forward to this first week of the season. It is game week, so everybody should be getting excited. We're exactly 6 days away from the first game. Speaking of that first game, that should be a barn burner. The NFL Network will be showing Iowa and Chicago. That will be played in Des Moines, so that should be a lot of fun to watch. We're going to preview that game a little later. We've seen a lot of players this season. We didn't really know what was going to happen. If all the players would play for the $400 a game, if those AFL players would come back. A lot of them have said yes, a lot of them had said no. Rock Haith has been reassigned from Cleveland. He's done. Will not play for $400, but some of the bigger names are still going to be here. They're going to play for that $1,000 marketing player. Especially here's just some off the top of my head. I believe AFL MVP Chris Greason has decided that he will play, and he will be with the Milwaukee Iron, along with Damian Harrell at wide receiver. And Damian Harrell still holds the Arena Football League record for most consecutive games with a touchdown catch at 78 games. That's impressive. Dallas picked up Eddie Moten. He's a Dallas native, actually. Played high school ball in the area, but he's been a thorn in Dallas's side over the past few years as a member of the Philadelphia Soul. He'll be a great addition to a stingy defense already. The Vigilantes have a great wide receiver core. Larry Brackens, Derek Lee, Chavis McCollister. Should be a great season for the Dallas Vigilantes. The preseason poll, we talked about Milwaukee and Dallas, and they're on top. They're number 1 and number 2. To me, I think that they're definitely the class of this league. Arizona actually pulls in at number 3 in my opinion. I feel like Kevin Guy and Danny White will be able to get that team going. I feel like Arizona will always have a good, strong football program. And a lot of people are doubting Nick Davila, but Davila has been spectacular in the AF2. If his size is very good, he's about 6'4", shouldn't have any problem seeing over the linemen, such as other AF2 quarterbacks have had in the past. So don't expect that to be an issue. Cleveland jumps in at number 4. I like Cleveland here because Cleveland and they've got a great wide receiver core. John Dutton at quarterback should be a spectacular year for the Cleveland Gladiators. Tampa Bay in at number 5 here. I like Tampa Bay a lot. I think Brett Dietz is going to be the strong point of this team. They just signed Cedric Robinson. Great wide receiver. They've still got T.T. Tolliver. Should be a spectacular receiving core for Brett Dietz down there. Spokane is in at number 6. I like Spokane a lot in a way, then in other ways I don't. I think that Spokane could become a spoiler, but I don't believe they'll have the success they've had in the past. In at number 7, call it a homer pick, call it what you want, Alabama. I feel like they've got a great defense. Defensive backfield's got 2 AFL veterans. Got Jason Gaithers. He is an all-AFL linebacker, a defensive line that should be spectacular. Offensively, they got Dan Alexander at fullback, who scored 41 touchdowns in a season before. Quarterback position seems to be the weakest link right now, and that's not that's not necessarily true. Kevin Eakin has played very well in the past, but I feel like he can only take you so far. Wide receivers, man, the Vipers have some wide receivers that are just unreal. If you look at Willie Quinney, he caught 30 touchdown passes in 2008 with Colorado. Jason Gaithers is a very big target at 6'3", 6'4". you got C.J. Johnson, who has been a great second, third guy in the league the last 3 seasons. So really expect that the Vipers wide receiver core is going to be very, very good, especially with the protection that should be up front for Kevin Eakin. And at number 8 is Tulsa. Tulsa, I think they're just going to be a surprise team, and they really get in here because everybody else is kind of off the radar in this at this point. Just my opinion, but I think Tulsa gets in because of their great defense. They've got 8 AFL veterans starting on their defensive side. That's going to be a spectacular amount of defensive presence there, and expect that their defense will keep them in a lot of games. And if Justin Allgood plays well, this team can move up very quickly. Sleeper teams. I think Oklahoma City, and Chicago could be your sleeper teams. I think that Oklahoma City's got a lot of potential. It's all riding on Tommy Grady. Chicago, they also have a lot of potential as well, but Russ Mitchell, he's capable, but maybe not the best guy you want. Maybe not the guy that you really, really want at quarterback. And he also had decent success at the AFL level in the past, but he also had Donovan Morgan and Damian Harrell at his disposal. This year he will not. As a matter of fact, all he's got is like DeJuan Alfonso and Sammy Parker. Sammy Parker had a great year in the UFL last year, but is he really an AFL kind of guy? We'll find out. As far as the playoff goes, I feel like you could see Milwaukee and Cleveland as the number 1 and number 2 out of the Midwest. Out of the West Division, you're going to see Arizona and Spokane. I think that those 4, Arizona, Spokane, Milwaukee, and Cleveland, will be in the playoffs. I think Milwaukee comes out of the American Conference, though. I'm sorry, out of the National Conference. In the American Conference, you're going to see Dallas and Tulsa come out of the Southwest Division. I think they'll be great teams to really play this season, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I think in the South Division, you'll see Tampa Bay and Alabama. I think Tampa Bay wins the division, and Alabama comes in second. They'll probably be the number 4 seed in the conference, and you'll probably see either Dallas or Tampa Bay coming out of there. I'm going to say Dallas. I think it'll be Dallas and Milwaukee for the championship, and I think Milwaukee wins it. So, hey, we'll see what happens, but Chris Greason is the best quarterback in this league by far.